Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball. We're here again. It's the 1871 season yet again. And we've got a really a much needed matchup for both of these teams, a much needed potential win for both of these teams. The 2 and 5 Rockford Forest Citys. They drive, well, maybe not drive, but they travel from Rockford all the way over to Cleveland, or I'm sorry, not Cleveland, Chicago. I wrote Cleveland like an idiot on my score sheet. I will have to change that. Um, did I put Cleveland in the title as well? Is that what we're off to? Is that the start that we're off to? No, I did put Chicago in the title. Thank God. Rockford, Illinois. Yep, they're going over to Chicago. Chicago. And they'll be playing the Chicago White Stockings. I totally flubbed up my score sheet. There we go. That's relatively fixed. Right. So a little bit of an Illinois derby here, if you would, right? Not really far travel, no. That's why I say it might be a derby here, but nonetheless, 2 and 5 Rockford at 1 and 1 Chicago. It is the 25th of May, 1871, and we've got a 105 first pitch with clear skies, 1,084 in attendance, 59 degrees. For those that use Celsius, that would be 15. And we got 9-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left field for today. Let's go over your starting lineups for this matchup, starting with the Rockford Forest Citys, the visiting Rockford Forest Citys. Cap Anson, the third baseman, will lead it off with a 303 batting average. He's got 3 RBIs so far this season. George Hall, left fielder, batting second. He's got 1 homer, 6 RBIs, batting 294. Ross Barnes, the second baseman, batting third. He's batting 387 with 6 RBIs. Lip Pike, absolutely on fire with the bat right now. 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and is batting 344. He's going to be the big bat for Rockford in this game. Doug Allison, the catcher, batting fifth. He has got a 281 average and with 4 RBIs so far this season. Joe Start, first baseman, looking to help really start this Rockford City season. They're 2 and 5. He is batting sixth with a 188 average. He's got 1 RBI. George Bird batting seventh in center field. He has got a 345 average. He's got 4 RBIs as well. George Wright, the shortstop, bats eighth, 3 RBIs, batting 240 for him. And then pitcher Dick McBride, who's batting 429 with 1 RBI, bats ninth. For the Chicago White Stockings, batting first is George Bechtel. He is the left fielder. He is currently batting 100 in his 10 plate appearance or at bats so far this season. He's got 1 RBI as well. Bill Kelly, the center fielder, will bat second. He's got 1 RBI, batting 300 as well in his 10 at bats. Levi Mayerly is going to be batting third. He's batting 444 with 1 RBI. Gat Stiers will bat fourth. He's batting 375. He's got 1 homer and 2 RBIs in just his 8 at bats so far. So he's one to watch for potentially for the Chicago White Stockings as well. Mark King, he's batting fifth. The catcher, he's got 1 RBI. He's batting 100 in his 10 plate or at bats. Everett Mills, the first baseman's got 10 at bats. He's batting 200. He's got 1 RBI. Charlie Hodes, 8 at bats so far this season. He's batting 250. He's got 2 RBIs. Sam Jackson is batting eighth. That's the second baseman. He's batting 143 to 7 at bats. He has yet to get an RBI. And then pitcher Cherokee Fisher will be the last batter, batting 444 in his 9 at bats. On the mound for the Rockford Forest Citys, 2 and 5 Dick McBride, 2.82 ERA with a 1.19 WHIP. So a little bit of a high whip there for Dick McBride. 2-5 on the season in his 7 starts. Cherokee Fisher is 1-1. He's got a .51 ERA in his 2 starts so far. Only a .85 whip as well. Pretty good stuff so far from Cherokee Fisher. Right. 1:05 first pitch. Well, let's get ready to get into it, shall we? Rockford Forest Citys traveling to Chicago, Illinois for this Illinois Derby. And we get ready for the first pitch from Cherokee Fisher here. And first pitch is a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. That's taken low for a ball. 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Cap Anson. Swung on. That's lined into right field. That's a base hit. And that's going to be extra bases to start. He's going to second. He could go to third. Is he going to go to third? He's going to attempt to go to third. Here comes the throw to third. Will it be in time? He is safe at third. And Cap Anson has got himself a leadoff triple here in the top of the first inning. What a start for Rockford as they get a runner 90 feet away. That's going to bring up George Hall, the left fielder. He's currently batting .294. He has 1 home run, 6 RBIs so far this season. Here's the first pitch to him. That's taken high for a ball. 1-0. Here's a 1-0. Swung on, grounded over to the hole. Over to first, in time, and that'll be the first out of the inning. 6-3 on the putout. Shortstop Charlie Hodes making a throw over to first. And that's 1 away here in the top of the first. Right, Russ Barnes will be the next batter up. He's batting .387 so far this season. 6 RBIs as well for him. Big power hitter. Runner on third, 1 out. Here's the first pitch. That's taken for a called strike. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Outside. Ball 1. 1-1 to count now. Here's the 1-1. And it's low for a ball. 2-1. 2-1 pitch to Ross Barnes. Swung on, lined into left field. And that just lands foul. Here's the 2-2. That's below the knees. 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Payoff pitch to Ross Barnes. Swung on, grounded over towards the second baseman. On to first, in time. And that's the second out of the inning. They have not been able to move Anson home. Now there's 2 outs in the inning, and that brings up Lip Pike. Batting .344, 2 homers, 6 RBIs so far this season. Here's the first pitch to Lip Pike. That's a called strike on the inside corner. Amazing. That's true legend Hall of Famer, says baseball fan. The leadoff triple. It is. It's very good, but they got to bring him home, man. Rockford have to capitalize on this. They've kind of thrown 2 outs away. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, that's popped up. In the infield. Second baseman's over to get it. And they get out of the inning without any damage. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the first. It's a scoreless game. George Bechtel will lead it off for the Chicago White Stockings. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a moment. We welcome you back. Bottom of the first here in Chicago at the Union Baseball Ground. And it is a scoreless game so far. Rockford got a leadoff triple but couldn't bring the man home. Chicago's time now to step up to the plate. It'll be Dick McBride taking him out. 2-5 so far this season in his 60.2 innings pitched. He's working with a 2.82 ERA. George Bechtel will be the first batter. He has got one hit in his 10 at-bats so far this season. That hit bringing in an RBI. Here's the first pitch to George Bechtel. It's the one and only Skull Crusher. What's going on, Skull? That's lined into the outfield. Right at the right fielder. One pitch, one out for Dick McBride as that's flied out to, it's an F9, flying out to right field. What'd you do yesterday? I seem to have forgotten. You might have told me, and I don't remember. If you guys aren't already following Skull Crusher, give him a follow. FM streamer. Plays a bit of Warzone as well. Plays a bit of Supermarket Simulator and whatnot. But yeah, give him a follow if not already. He is from United and by Hangover. The Hangover to the result. Yeah. He's a Man United fan. So go give him a follow. If you're not already and you like the Football Manager content, it's the Skull Crusher. I get that. I mean, I was ready to do that freaking Sunday after the Union lost 7-0. Right. Bill Kelly up to the plate. 1 RBI. 3 hits in his 10 at-bats. Here's the pitch from Dick McBride. That's low for a ball. Going to be doing a massive one Thursday. I will be sure to swing by. Here's the 1-0. Swung on. That's grounded foul. Yeah, I'll make note to stop by Thursday. 1 hour and 30 minutes from Rockford to Chicago. Longest time when you were so that was probably like a 2 hour, maybe 2.5 hour travel time back then, baseball fan. I'm not. I usually do Skull, but Heindo and I are starting an F1 career, and he's only free Wednesdays to do that during the week. And Wednesdays are usually my day off. So I swapped it. So now I stream Wednesdays, and then I'm just going to take Thursday off instead. So. Right. Here's the 1-1 to Bill Kelly. That swung on into left field. And right at the left fielder. And that's the second out of the inning. F9, F7 on 4 pitches from Dick McBride. That brings up Levi Mayerly. He is batting, he's 4 for 9 so far this season at the plate. He's got a really good batting average. Here he is, the first pitch to Mayerly. That's lined right at the third. It gets through. It's a base hit. Mayerly's aboard. He's got a single. I'm streaming a good time. View is doing FC26. You want to attempt 12 hour if I stay up? Oh, wow. 12s are they're pretty long. The one yesterday was really long. I know that. I think I might have done 13 yesterday even. Yeah, they can wear you down after a while. Honestly, like 6 to 8, 4 is really good for me during the weeks. That's a really good sweet spot, 3 to 4. 6 to 8 is like really good during the weekends, I feel like. Even 10 feels okay. 12 is when I start to break down by the end of stream. Yeah. Is it going to be midnight? Yeah, exactly. Right, here's Gat Stiers. He's batting 3 for 8 so far this season with a home run and 2 RBIs. Runner on first, 2 outs. here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the first pitch to Cat Stires. That's grounded over the third. Oh, it's a fielding error. It is a fielding error. It is an E5 fielding error. Mayerly goes to second, and Cap Anson has made the error, the first error of the game. First time I've seen this. This is out of the park. It's a good time. It's a really good game, actually. So we're playing in 1871. So the date in the game is the 25th of May, 1871. It's the very first ever season of professional baseball in the United States. And we've got Rockford Forest Citys, who are RC1, and we've got Chicago White Stockings, who are CH1 in the scoreboard up there. So, yeah, probably took like 2 hours back in day. Probably had trains, Illinois, horses. Yeah. I would imagine the trains probably then. Right, first, second, 2 outs. Mart King is the next batter. He's batted 1 for 10 so far this season with 1 RBI. Here's the first pitch to Mart King. That is a called strike, and it is 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's a passed ball. It gets by, and Levi Mayerly goes to third. Gat Stires goes to second, and now Chicago have runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, ground to the first. Stepping on the bag is going to be first baseman Joe Start, and that is going to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the second inning, and there is no score. Didn't Rockford, Illinois, this team disbanded. Literally, this is the only season in OOTP that they're going to have, I think. Ben, I found something that actually funny and weird. Go on. A few years later, you can, if you're linking it, make sure it's the full URL. That's the only thing I ask. Make sure it's the full www.url.com or net or whatever. That's all. When United versus West Ham at your home ground, they're usually a manager selected. Oh, it's a stat. I didn't know that. Are we playing you next? Because I would love for Potter to go. Right. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be right back with more in just a minute. Right, welcome back. It is top second here in Chicago. Scoreless game so far. Yeah, I only found out today. I think sometime in December you might have to wait for that for Potter to get the vote. No, bro. Don't do that to me. Right. Doug Allison sets in for Rockford. He is batting .281 so far this season, 4 RBIs. He's leading off here in the second inning. First pitch to Doug Allison. That's taken high for ball 1. I didn't see if the Phillies played today, actually. I didn't see that at all. Right, and here's the 1-0. I think that or not, but that's swung on and missed, and that is a strike. I mean, they didn't really give him a great transfer window, did they, Skull? I think they have the day off playing LA tomorrow. Are the Mets playing? The Mets. No, the Phillies play tonight in LA. Yeah, the Phils play tonight in Los Angeles, it looks like. Hold on, I just lost the freaking day. Yeah, tonight in LA. 10-10 first pitch. Jesus. It might as well be tomorrow. Baseball fan, it starts so damn late. 1-1 pitch. That's lined right at the shortstop, and that'll be the first out of the inning. That brings up Joe Start. He's batting 188 so far this season. Here's the first pitch. That's taken for a strike. It's 0-1. 0-1 pitch. That's in the dirt for a ball, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Lined into left field. Going back as the left fielder, and he makes the catch. That is George Bechtel getting credit for the putout. Yeah, I have no clue what happened to Potter. I'll be honest with you. You and I are both stumped on that one, Skull. Honestly. But I think they didn't give him a good transfer window. And it's come back to really bite them in the ass. Right, George Bird due up, center fielder. He's batting 345. 4 RBIs to his name. Here's the first pitch. That's swung on, grounded foul. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt for a ball, 1-1. Sometimes inconsistent. I'm okay with that. I don't really like the Dodgers. So, here's the 1-1. That's lined into right field. Coming in on as the right fielder. He makes the catch. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left. It is the bottom second here in Cleveland. And I'm sorry, in Chicago. I'm going to make that error all night. And we've got no score. He did not do it. He has to re-redeem it. If he wants the attribute boost, he has to re-redeem it because I refunded him the points from the other night. And then we would do all the attribute boosts at the end of the game. I don't like doing them before the game because if you click start game and you go to the lineup screen and then you back out of it, sometimes when you click start game again, the AI changes its mind on who they want to start the game, and I write the scorecard up on that screen while I'm in the intro screen. While you guys are on the starting soon screen, I do that. So I don't want to constantly go back out and come back in, and then I have to edit my scorecard. So all the attribute boosts are always going to be done at the end of the game for OOTP. And I did refund Baseball Fan the other night. So if he wants to boost Cap Anson, he will have to redeem the redeem, essentially. And then I'll catch it at the end of the game. Have a good one. Thank you so much, Skull. Get a good night's sleep, bro. And I'll be sure to swing by on Thursday, man. Good luck with that stream, man. If I don't see you until then, right? Good luck with that, bro, and have a lot of fun. Him and I were both going to do one for the Red Sox. Gotcha. Okay. Well, the Red Sox aren't technically in the game yet. I don't think the Red Sox come into the league until 1901. There are the Red Stockings, though. The Boston Red Stockings are in there in this, and they eventually become the Atlanta Braves. But yeah, we're about 29 or 30 years away from the Red Sox. Right, bottom second, Everett Mills stepping up. He is 2 for 10 so far this season. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike, and it's 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. That's grounded over towards the second baseman. On to first in time, and that is the first out of the inning. 4-3 on the putout. That brings up Charlie Hodes. Shortstop. He's batting 2 for 8 so far this season. Here's the first pitch to Hodes. That's taken low and below the knees for a ball. Inside as well, that pitch. Here's the 1-0. That's swung on, grounded back towards the backstop. Here's the 1-1 now. Off the plate away. 2-1. 2-1 pitch to Charlie Hodes. Swung on and missed. And it's 2-2. Yes, Spalding, I think I can do Cap Anson again for errors. Yeah, 1901 Boston Americans. Later the Red Sox. Yeah, there you go. You're right. Red Stockings became the Braves. Different franchise and team. Yep. In city, for that matter. Right. 2-2 pitch to Charlie Hodes. He takes that inside, ball 3. And here's the payoff pitch now. Grounded back up towards the hole. Shortstop's got it on to first in time, and that's out number 2. City 2, RJ. Yeah, yep. 6-3 on the putout. That brings up Sam Jackson, the second baseman. Batting 1 for 7 so far this season. Here's the first pitch to Jackson. That's grounded over to third. Diving stop. Can he get the ball over in time? It's a bad throw. And Jackson is aboard on an E5. It'll be Cap Anson's second error of the game. That brings up Cherokee Fisher, the pitcher, batting .444. 4 for 9 so far this season. Here's the first pitch to him. That is taken for a called strike. Errors approved defense. Rockford, you got it. We'll catch that at the conclusion of the game. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, grounded over towards second short. Can he get over to first in time? He can, and that will retire the side. No runs on no hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the third. It is a scoreless game here in Chicago. Shortstop George Wright will be the first man up, but we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. That'll reset the timer. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Welcome back. Third inning here in Chicago. Scoreless game. George Wright, 2 up first. For the Rockford Forest Citys, he is batting .240 so far this season. He's got 3 RBIs. Just the one base runner from Rockford so far. That was Cap Anson with the leadoff triple. They did not bring him home. Now here they are trying again in the third. Here's the first pitch coming. That's lined right at the second baseman. That'll be the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out this inning. That brings up Dick McBride. He's batting an impressive .429 so far this season. Here's the first pitch to him. And that's popped up right at the second baseman who comes in and makes the play. And that is out number 2 already here in the top of the third. 1901, when we get to it, hopefully we can get Jimmy Collins, Schick, Stahl, Babe Ruth, Teddy Williams like our historical years. They're coming. They're definitely coming. Right, that brings up Cap Anson, who's 1 for 1 so far today in a triple, his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Cap Anson. That's a called strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined into center field. Is that going to get down for a base hit? It will. And Cap Anson is now 2 for 2 as he gets aboard here in the top of the third. Pat Wentz, welcome in. How you doing today, Pat? Guys, if you aren't already following Pat Wentz, give him a follow. Here he is here. He plays F1. He plays, or F1 Manager. He plays Football Manager. Here he is playing Split Faction. He plays Apex Legends as well. I love this clip. I love that clip. I love it so much. Right. If you're not already following me, he's a great guy. Give him a follow. Fantastic streamer. The best Philippine streamer I know. Pat, speaking of the Philippines, Pat, one of my favorite cosplayers got invited to an event. She's going to be in the Philippines. I don't remember when the event is, but I just saw that she's going to be attending a anime convention / expo in the Philippines. It might be this weekend. It might be next weekend. I have no idea, but yeah, exactly. It's not a hot dog game. It's just one scene out of the hot dog game. So. But yeah, that's a fun game. Split Faction is a fun game. You need a friend to play it. But that's a really fun game. Right, George Hall stepping in. That's 5 hours drive from you. Wow. Wow. Wait, so where's the event at? Is the event in, is it Manila? I want to say Manila, but I know that's the Spanish pronunciation, right? So... At the city? Ah. So what, are you in the northern end then? Are you like northern? Because Manila's like kind of far south in the Philippines. Not far south, but like it's in the southern part of the Philippines if I remember anything about geography. Right, we don't. It's the glory of the same. Yeah, I'm at the north. Gotcha, okay. I don't think I've ever I've known a few people who have either come from the Philippines and they've come over for studies, or I used to game with a few people from the Philippines, but nobody was ever from the north that I remember. They were all mainly from Manila, barely Manila. I mean, it's the biggest city, so that kind of would make sense. But yeah, no, that's really cool, man. That's really cool. First pitch to George Hall. Let's see what that is. Way too high. That's a ball. Mainly from the cities. Yeah, yeah. I unfortunately don't know enough to know where any of the other cities are. I just kind of know where Manila is. But I studied there in college. That kind of makes sense. I'd imagine there's a lot of that. People traveling to Manila to go to college. That's the same way here, to be fair. It's really the same way here. Right, here's the 1-0. That is below the knees. 2-0. Here's the 2-0. He's going to take that on the outside part of the plate. 2-1. 2-1 pitch to George Hall. And he's going to take that right down to shoot. 2-2. Count is even 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on. That's lined into right field. That's going to go foul. Just past the right field seats. Or the first base seats. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back to the screens. Yes, it is the capital city, yeah. Here's the 2-2. That's popped up in the infield. Shortstop's coming in for it. He'll make the play. And that is going to retire the side. No runs on one hit. And they leave one aboard. It is time for the bottom of the third. And we are still scoreless here in Chicago. George Bechtel will be the first man up for the Chicago Forest Citys. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Right, welcome back. Maybe one day, Pats, I'll get hired. You never know. You never know. Yeah, we had, honestly, baseball fan, Harry, I grew up with Harry Callis. Give it a go. I think you can do it on the side. I think I could make it, I think I could do it full time, quite frankly. We had Harry Callis, who was legendary. Absolutely legendary, Harry Callis. And John McCarthy's filled in, like, not filled in, I shouldn't say that, but John McCarthy's the guy that's come after him. And McCarthy is, like, going to be just as legendary because he also does NCAA tournament basketball. He's a big basketball guy as well. So he does work year round. Maybe we'll get shot and he'll see you there one day. Wait, I know this guy. Hey. I'll never forget the people, man. If that ever happened, bro. I'll never forget the people that were there with me. You know? So. Right, George Bechtel's up first. I'm glad you guys think I have a voice for it. I do too. You never know. Yeah, I always enjoy commentary. It's been my thing. It really has been. It's been a joy to really do the last, not just 4.5 years with CS, but like Unreal Tournament, this, like everything. Absolutely. You're not wrong, baseball fan. Right. We got a baseball game to get back to. Bottom third. George Bechtel is up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 so far today. And that's the first. That's high. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0 to Bechtel. He swung on and missed, and that'll be 1-1. 1-1 to count. That's flied into right field. Right fielder coming over, but it drifts foul. Maybe. I'll think about it for the description, probably. 1-2 pitch to George Bechtel. That's inside, ball 2. Actually, my friends and I are planning to have an Apex tourney here. I want to get you as the caster if it allows. I don't know anything about Apex. That's the only problem. I don't know the name of the skills. I don't even know the champions. I really, really don't know anything about Apex. I'd be horrendous at Apex. It's not my specialty, to be fair. Oh, yeah. I don't know anything. I literally don't know anything about it. I've never installed the game, played the game. So, I think there's one that does like a portal, and they're called Wraith, I think. And then there's like a shadowy ninja type. God, I'm going to sound... You're going to have a head in the hands. Then there's like a big muscular type. There are a lot of... Yeah, that's true. You know what? In all honesty, let me just stop right there. You're not wrong. There's a lot to Apex. It's pretty intense. Right, we got a 2-2 count here. Here's the pitch. That is fouled down the left field side. 2-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 1 away. That'll bring up Bill Kelly. Center fielder, he flied out the left his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That's popped up into foul territory. Third baseman's over there. He makes the catch. And that is out number 2 in the inning. Two gone here. That brings up Levi Mayerly. He had a single his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Mayerly. Swung on, grounded over to third. On to first. It's in time, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the top of the 4th, and we've got ourselves a little bit of a pitcher's duel here. It's a scoreless game in Chicago. Ross Barnes, the second baseman, is going to be the first man up for the Rockford Forest Citys. He grounded out to second his last at-bat. Here's the first pitch from Cherokee Fisher to Ross Barnes to start this 4th. And that's taken off the plate away for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Swung on. That's lined right at the second baseman. He makes the catch. And that'll be the first out of the inning. He can't avoid that second baseman. He had a 4-3 in the first, an L4 here in the 4th. And that brings up Lip Pike, the right fielder. He popped up to second his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, that's popped up in foul territory. Catcher's there to make the play. And that is the second out of the inning. Two outs here in the top of the fourth. Doug Allison, the catcher, is the next batter up. He lined out to short in his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. Grounded over to second. On to first in time. And they go down in order here in the top of the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go the bottom fourth, and we have still got no score. Gat Stiers will be the first batter up here. He reached via an error his last at bat. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Welcome back. Bottom fourth here in Chicago. Just 3 hits in this ball game through 3.5 so far. We've got Gat Stiers up to the plate. And Dick McBride ready to deliver the first pitch to him. Here it is. He's going to take that below the knees. Ball 1. Stiers reached via an error his last at bat. 0 for 1 today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. He's popped it up right in front of home plate. Catcher's there. That's Doug Allison who gets gloves it for the out. And there's one away. That brings up Mart King. He grounded into an unassisted ground out at first his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Mart King. That's taken off the plate away for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's taken high and in for a ball. And it is 2-1. 2-1 to count to Mart King. Here's the pitch. He's lined that into right field. It's a base hit. And Mart King has delivered the second hit in this game for the Chicago White Stockings. He's aboard with a 1-out single. That's going to bring up Everett Mills. He grounded out in his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Mills. Swung on and missed. That'll be 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded over to first. On to second for one. Back to first, and it's a double play. 3-6-3 double play, and the inning is over. No runs on one hit. They leave the bases empty. We go to the top of the fifth. There's no score. First baseman Joe Start will be the first man up for the Rockford Forest Citys. He flied out the left field in his first at bat. Bit of a pitcher's duel here. Dick McBride on 36 pitches through the first 4 innings. Cherokee Fisher is only on 38. Been really good stuff from both gentlemen this afternoon. 1:57 is the time on the clock, so we haven't even played an hour. We're into the top fifth. Here's the first pitch from Cherokee Fisher. That's lined into left field, but it drifts foul. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Joe Start. Grounded over, that's a fair ball. It stays fair, and the first baseman will take it to the bag himself, and that is the first out of the inning. A little bit unlucky that didn't roll foul there, Joe Start. And that is going to be the first out. That brings up George Bird. Bird flied out to right field, his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. Way inside for a ball. 1-0. I'll be cooking BRB. Sounds good. Here's the 1-0. Grounded over to second. On to first in time. And that's the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up George Wright, the shortstop. He is currently 0 for 1 so far this game. He lined out to the second baseman his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to George Wright. That's high for a ball. 1-0. Leo the Matsala. Welcome in, bro. FM Doctor, welcome in, bro. How are you, brother? I'm doing all right, Leo. I actually think your character in the Gimpo save, by the way, is getting ready to come. I think next season I give him the call up. I think you picks, and there's one other that's ready. They're 100% ready. I was looking at them today. How have you been, my man? FM Doctor, how have you been, bro? I hope you've been good, man. I'm sorry that you can't sleep well, or that you're not sleeping, because I know it's late over there. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, of all things, not 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm sorry that you can't sleep, bro. But welcome in. If you're not already following Leo, give him a follow. He is an FM streamer coming out of the great land of Canada/Turkey. This is his orange cat, Milo, by the way. I've been very good. I'm not sleeping because I've been watching Peacemaker for the last 4 hours. I love the series too much. Gotcha. Seriously, need another clip or two? Stream more, Leo. You'll get them. I looked the other day, Leo. Jesus Christ, man. I know that listen. I understand that when you stream CS, you're going to get a lot of clips because there's going to be a lot of people that clip like sick clutches, sick shots, things like that, right? But I was looking the other day, right? If I filter by category, okay, Pengya has 11 clips. FM23 has 17 clips. FM24 has 24 clips. Euro Truck Simulator 2 has 25 clips. I've only been streaming not CS for like a year and a half. So almost two. It's like been a year and 3/4. So I've gotten about 60, 70, 80 clips, I would say, in the last, I average about 50 clips a year. I'll put it that way. Counter-Strike, I have 861 clips on the channel. I've just got CS out the ass, bro. But that's just the nature of CS. But the point is, like, I'm averaging, that is good stats. Wow. Yeah, I'm averaging about 50 clips a year. So if you stream more, you'll definitely get them. For sure, man. That's me peer pressuring you into streaming more. Pixelated suits. How was the end of your stream, bro? I got to. Oh, you graded Gomp. What a goat. What a fucking goat. Gomp's great. I'm just removing the Gomp, right? Removing the exclamation, the little doot equals raid thing off the end of the URL, since you rated out to him. Nice. Yeah, man. The key is being consistent. Yeah, I mean, in a way, yeah. So, but you know, we'll get him another clip. Welcome in, Pix. How was the rest of your stream, bro? Well, I bet you're excited for the release of Skate tomorrow, man. I'm excited for FM in 6 weeks, bro. I have discovered, I have thought about it, and I know what my save for FM26 is going to be. I have decided my FM26 save. He was playing Skate today. He's got the release is publicly tomorrow. Also plays Football Manager. Played Battlefield 6 when that was in beta. Fantastic streamer overall. Give him a follow if you're not already. The ever so excellent Pixelated Suits. Man is an absolute legend. Give him a follow if you're not already. It was good just wrapping up some missions and then playing some more tomorrow night. Already? Wow. What is the next save? Well, you guys are going to be bored. It's going to sound boring. It's not really going to sound super original, but the longest save in FM23 I looked at and I took inspiration from. We are going to do, instead of TLS on FM26, we're going to do TLSW. We're going to do the longest save women's football, where we try to win every domestic league, lower divisions, highest division, cups, continental competitions. We're going to do that with the women's game in FM26. I'm super fucking excited for it. I haven't even built the doc yet because I have to know. Yeah, that's the joke that I seen circled around Twitter. Although people say that, but 15 is the youngest that the game allows you to have, right? Like, but uh, in terms of scouting and coming into the youth development, I think 15 is the. Well, I don't know, because in FM26 in FM23 it might be 16 now. I remember 15 was like FM 16 days, FM 10 days, FM 12 days. We could do some arrangements. Yeah, it's called FMRTE. Essentially, it's called FMRT. But I'm actually interested to see what they do with that client as well, FMRT, because I have FMRT for 14, 16, 19, 20, 23, and 24. And I'll be interested to see what they do with it for 26. I'd imagine they're going to, I mean, it's their business model. I would imagine they're going to work on it. They're just going to figure out how to because essentially that's a DLL injector. I think that tends to be how that kind of thing operates. Is just as a DLL injector, and that's not going to change in the Unity engine. There's still going to be DLLs that the Unity engine are going to run off of, right? So I'm curious to see how they do that. But it's the same thing with like mods. You guys are curious, how are skin mods going to lurk? How are databases going to lurk, right? If FM26 comes with a pregame editor, database creation shouldn't be too difficult. It should kind of be in par with how it is now. But anything else like face skin packs, all that stuff, like that's going to be a lot different. I would think. And for me, I look at it and I'm like, face skin packs might not even be super different in how they operate, but like something that like what Mr. Teeny does with the regen mods for the retro databases, that is going to be completely different. And then I would imagine FMRT is going to be slightly different as well. I need to see it first from someone. Yeah, same here. I don't know if I'm going to jump right in. Like you're not going to see me playing FM26 on launch. 2 reasons, right? Number 1, I have a save going in FM24 and FM23. I have 2 FM saves already going, so I need to complete those, right? They're still the main saves. Even when I start TLSW, CLGFC is still save number 1. TLS is still save number 2 because I've started them, and I'm pretty deep into CLG. I'm really deep into. I'm in season 12. So we're still going to be playing FM23 and 24. But I don't think I'm going to be playing FM26 on launch, mainly because, well, that's it. I'm going to have other saves going for a little bit. Make the engine carry the data load in the game and have a deal. I've been playing for 21 years now. Sure, I want to play. Yeah. The engine carry the data load in the game and we have a deal. I've been play. Yeah, I agree with that. So, but yeah, I've also already did my schedule out to like October, mid-October for stream. So I don't want to change that now with FM26 beta stuff. Right, we are in 1871. It's baseball season here, the first ever season of professional baseball in the United States. It's the top 5th. We got Rockford Forest Citys, RC1, visiting the Chicago White Stockings, CH1. And we got a scoreless game. 2 outs here, top 5th. 1-0 count. And here's the 1-0 pitch. That is lined into right field. It is a base hit for George Wright. He's aboard with a 2-out single. Just the 3rd hit of the game for Rockford. And that brings up pitcher Dick McBride. The big reason I said I also aren't going to be playing FM26 on launches. I have to build the Google Doc for the save, right? So I need to dive into FM26 and see what leagues are there for the women's game, what continental competitions are there for the women's game, what's playable, what's not. Build an Excel file off of that, or a Google Doc off of that. Do all the formulas in the Google Doc so they point correctly, and then I can just plug and play, when I finish a season or when I win a league or something. Kind of like how I have my Google Doc built now. So I need to do all of that still. And I'm not going to know any of the information I need to know until the game launches. So that's why you won't see me playing on launch anyway, because I already have 2 saves going. So if I want to play FM, I can play those saves. And I have to build the whole Google Doc for the FM26 save anyway. Right. Here's the first pitch to Dick McBride. Swung, he's popped it up in the infield. Second baseman's over. He makes the catch. And that will retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go bottom 5th. We got no score. It'll be Charlie Hodes is the first man up for the Chicago White Stockings. We are going to take a 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Right, welcome back. Good luck with your course, Leo. We are into the bottom fifth here in Chicago. A little bit of an Illinois derby here between these two. Rockford, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. That'll be Charlie Hode's first man up. He did ground out to the shortstop his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike on the inside part of the plate. And it is 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's lined deep into right field. Going back's the right fielder over the wall. It's a home run. Charlie Hodes has opened the scoring with a solo shot in right field. And it's 1-0 for the Chicago White Stockings. I'm back. Just made scrambled eggs for the meantime. Still boiling the meat. Nice. Ooh, what the meat? What are you having with it? I scored that in the wrong inning. Hold on. Whoa. I know what that is. I know what that is. I used to have a friend who freaking loved that. Right. That'll bring up Sam Jackson. He reached me in error his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. That is inside for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's off the plate away. 2-0. Yeah. That was, I used to have a friend that loved to make that. She usually made it for dinner. That was usually, like, she made it a lot for dinner. She used to send me pictures all the time, actually, of it when she made it. It looked good. Right, here's the 2-0 pitch. That's grounded foul back to the backstop. We used to play an MMORPG together, and she was from the Philippines. And then I kind of just lost contact with her because I stopped playing the game, then she stopped playing the game, and then, yeah, we just kind of never talked to each other again, unfortunately. But, yeah, I had a friend that used to make that all the time. She would send me photos of it. It's good. It looks really good. Right, here's the 2-1. That's popped up. Into right field. Drifting foul. Will be foul. 2-2 the count. Here's the 2-2. Grounded over to third. On to first, and it's a throwing error, and it's a bad throwing error. And reaching on an error again is Sam Jackson. It's another E5. It's the third E5 of the game. So Cat Banson responsible for all 3 errors in this game. And there's a runner on second now for Chicago with nobody out. One time I watched this creator on Facebook. She's making Americans eat Filipino food with their reactions. Oh. The only thing I love to try food, and especially Southeast Asian, Middle Eastern food. The only thing that I can't do is spice. I cannot do spicy shit because I have GERD, and spice like really hot spicy stuff absolutely tears that apart. And so I can't have it. Like it's just it's horrible practice for me to have it. And a lot of Southeast Asian food has got spice in it. A lot of East Asian food, a lot like Korean food does as well. So it's not just Southeast Asian food, but like Indian food, Malaysian food, Filipino food to an extent, Korean food. They usually have a lot of spicy dishes. I can't even touch any of that shit, unfortunately. But Middle Eastern food's got quite a bit of that as well. There's some spices. Yep, that makes sense. There are spices that's hot but not spicy. There are, but anything that could agitate that, man, I gotta stay away from it. I don't do myself any favors with American food either, to be fair. But American food is mainly just sugar based, so it's not as bad for GERD than Middle Eastern food or stuff like that. Then you should not drink coffee. I literally have my caffeine intake through alternative methods. I usually have 1 cup of coffee. You are right. I'm not supposed to. I usually have 1 cup of coffee a day, and then I have like something else that gives me caffeine that's not coffee. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a little bit better, so that my body handles it a little bit better. You know what I mean? So, it's just hard to explain that to people because so I just tell people I have 3 cups of coffee because that's what the caffeine equivalent is. You know what I mean? But I actually don't drink a coffee. I usually might only have 1 cup every day, and that's it. So, and the cup's not even strong. It's usually a very light roast, so it's not really like acidic on the body. Vanilla bourbon tea, you would love that. I'm writing that down. I've written it down. I'll look into it tomorrow. Thank you. Here is, I don't even know who's batting. It's Cherokee Fisher. He's going to take a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded. Oh, it's through. Base hit. Sam Jackson goes to third, and Cherokee Fisher delivers a base hit. Now it's runners on the corners with no one out. I have tried that before, actually, and I'm not a big fan. I really didn't like it, actually. But vanilla bourbon tea I'm going to try. I'm going to look that up. Right, that brings up George Bechtel. I see, yeah. I had that at college once. But I mean, that was years and years and years and years and years and years ago. But they had that available at the college I went to, and I got it the one time, and I was like, ugh. But I could give it another go. That was fucking... God, how long have I been out of college? Jesus. Long time. Also, bank had dinner. I don't know. That must have been diluted too. Too much been sitting there. Too much. Uh, they had it in like pre-made tea bags. That's why it tasted. They had it in pre-made up tea bags, which you're about to tell me that's definitely why it probably tasted yuck. I don't, but I do everything tea bag. I don't have a tea strainer or anything like that. Right. George Petchell's due up. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Grounded over to second. They get the lead runner in second base, but the run comes in to score from third. And so it will be a fielder's choice. 6-4. Bill Kelly due up next. He flat out popped out. He's 0 for 2 so far. Here's the first pitch to him. That is lined into left field, drifting foul, and it will land foul. Right, 0-1 pitch to Bill Kelly. Grounded foul. Here's the 0-2, Bill Kelly. Grounded that foul. And here we go, 0-2 again. Over to first. They picked him off. He's out at first. That's the first pickoff of the season from anybody, I'm pretty sure, at least that we've commentated. But they've picked him off. And that is out number 2. Base is empty now. 0-2 count to Bill Kelly. That's big. Kelly grounds it foul. 5th pitch of this at-bat for Bill Kelly. He's grounded it foul again. Here's the pitch. Lined into right field. Right fielder's there. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. Two runs on 2 hits, and they leave the bases empty. We go to the top of the 6th. It is 2-0 Chicago. Cap Anson, the third baseman, will be due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Right, welcome back. Top 6 here in Rockford. Forest Citys trailing by a score of 2-0. Cap Anson up to the plate. Just 45 pitches for Cherokee Fisher in his first 5 innings. Here's the first pitch to Cap Anson. It's lined foul down the third base side. Here's the 0-1. Lined into left center field. That's going to be a base hit. That gets down. Cap's going his way to second. Here comes the throw, and he's safe at second base. And Cap Anson is now just a home run away from hitting for the cycle. Cherokee Fisher, what a name. I agree. Right. I'll take a look at it. TWG. I wrote that down too. Could always import it. I could always import it, Pat. Import tariff. No, just no, just right. Yeah, he just needs to get a. We need, Rockford need to get a run for sure. George Hall's up next. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop out. Here's the first pitch to him. That is called strike on the outside part of the plate, and it is 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He's going to take that off the plate away. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Chop foul. Count will go to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That is fouled back to the screens. Oh, that's cheap. Yeah, I can afford that. Here's the 1-2. Grounded over to first. Stepping on the bag himself is going to be first baseman Everett Mills. But Cap Anson will go to third on the play. And it is currently runner on third with 1 out. I'm not sure. They might have. That brings up Ross Barnes. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out. Here's the first pitch. That's inside for a ball, 1-0. When I used to drink tea every day, I used to drink Yorkshire Gold. And that was like $25, but you got a box of 150. It was like 100 or 150. It was like insane. So cheap. The per bag cost was insane. Right, here's the 1-0. That's lined over to the shortstop. On to first. In time to get the outs. The man, the DM, Stewart, what's going on? TWG, I'm not sponsored, okay? I just love T. Says, well, TWG, where you at? Yeah. Get this man a sponsorship. Right. It's an RBI ground out. And Cap Anson scores the run. And Rockford pull back within a run. It's 2-1. How you doing, Stuart? What's good, bro? Gotcha. That makes sense. The fire probably ruined a lot of people, and their ability to do anything. You know what? I'll take a sponsorship from. Is it Darjeeling Tea? As long as they keep me supplied with first flush loose leaf. Nice. Do you like matcha? I don't. I'm a Pat. I don't like anything. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm a boring motherfucker, okay? I have tried it though. I actually have tried matcha. Matcha tastes like fish and grass to me. It does. Yeah, I'm not. But not the drink. Yeah, I'm not a big. I'm not big. I have tried it. Yeah, I tried it. I was on vacation down in D.C. years ago. 2014 maybe was the year, and there was a little shop that sold it that I found. And shop's no longer there. They were only open for like another 2-3 years after I went there. But I was on vacation in 2014 to DC, and I found a little shop with it, and I was like, I always wanted to try it because I had gone down there the 2 years prior, right? So I went down there 2012, saw it, didn't get to it. Went down there 2013, saw it, didn't get to it. But then I made a note in 2014. I'm like, I'm fucking trying this shop because I want to try matcha. And then I did, and I was like, ah. So, so I am a fan, but I don't like Earl Grey and English breakfast tea. She is, yeah, she's big on the matcha actually. She's a gym rat. So all that kind of like stuff that's the health trend right now, like the matcha and all that stuff. She's all about that. So I don't mind Earl Grey when it's mixed with other stuff. Like I don't mind like a London Fog type tea, right? But the English breakfast tea I don't mind. English and Irish breakfast tea I don't mind. They're a little bit lighter, so we're doing good, man. We're doing really good. So thank you. Right. No, two out, nobody on here. Lip Pike, the right fielder, is up to bat. Here's the first pitch to Lip Pike. That's a called strike and it's 0-1. I see. Give her Jacob's well matcha. You could do it at home. She might already have it. Knowing her. Does she know you stream? She does. She's not big on. She's not big on like social media. So she doesn't really watch Twitch. She doesn't do Twitter. She doesn't do Facebook. She doesn't do the only social media platform she has is TikTok. And even then, she's not on it like she used to be. She used to watch loads of stuff on TikTok. Now she's on it for like maybe 20 minutes a day max. Like, she really doesn't like social media. So she's a very very reserved private person. So right, 1-1. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul. Thanks, baseball fan. 1-2 pitch here to Lip Pike. That's popped up in the infield. Third baseman comes over. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire the side. Right. One run on one hit. And they leave the bases low. The bases empty. Sorry. Rockford get a run back. And it is 2-1 Chicago. Due up first for the Chicago White Stockings is third baseman Levy Mayerly. You know what? That's basically Twitter, Pat, and I what I'm gonna say you guys might not agree with. You guys know I like cosplay. It's one of my. She does, yeah. She speaks both. She's bilingual, so she was born here. Baseball fan. She was born in Philly, so she speaks English, and then her parents speak Korean, so she speaks Korean. So she's totally bilingual. She's first generation here. I just say she's Korean because Americans usually don't associate or classify themselves as Americans. It's a very American thing to do. But that's yeah, she's born here. Um, what I was gonna say, Pat, was that I follow a lot of cosplayers. I really like cosplay. I think it's a fantastic art form. Um, but some of them do like modeling on the side, and obviously when they promote that kind of stuff, depending on the type of modeling, it pops up on my feed. So my feed is filled with that sometimes because that I don't. I used to do the following page, or not the following page. Yeah, I used to do the following tab when I went on Twitter, so it was always chronological order. But I follow way too many people, and I can't stand half the shit I follow anymore. And so I just go to the For You tab, and then sometimes when they've all posted an update, it's just fucking a whole feed of it, and I'm like, all right, right, like, let me come back another day and reload Twitter tomorrow and see what it is. But um, you're not wrong about that on the social media side. I kind of like Blue Sky a little bit for that reason, though, because Lodia Gossenfeld, is that how you say it? Yeah, I do know of her. I know of Lodia. Um, she was big in it. Yeah, yeah. I don't follow her, but I do know of her. Yes. Yeah, she was. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's an understatement of the century right there. She's a big pioneer of Philippines cosplay. Yeah. Um, very talented cosplayer. The ones from Southeast Asia that I really follow, Larissa Rochefort, who's Indonesia, uh, and she did get married a few years back. Yeah. Um, oddly enough, I think to an American. um, but yeah, I assume you've seen some of the pictures of me doing my main hobby on the various discords we're both in. Honestly, Stuart, I have not. I would love to see him though. So, uh, yeah. Which Discord are they in? So, um, but yeah, I don't actually venture into a ton of Discords during the day. So, in fact, if at all, to be honest with you, not even my own. So, but the Southeast Asian ones I really follow are probably Larissa Rochefort is one, and she's Indonesian, and then Kyo is Taiwanese, and I want to say there's Ying Zi as well, and I don't remember if Ying Zi was Vietnamese or Taiwanese. I can't remember. That's killing me. Gonna kill me now. Mostly in cellos. I'll take a look at it. I'll make a note to take a look at it. Should I look at it right now? What are you looking at? Cellos Discord. Cellos. God, I hope he's doing okay. Right. Now I gotta find this. Is it in show and tell? Is that what it would be in? I'm not seeing it in show and tell. Is it in show me your pics? Show me your pics. Hey, that's fucking sick, bro. Oh yeah, I remember these from when you went on vacation. Yeah, 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 yeah. The Ren Fair, right? Is that a Ren Fair? Yeah, I remember these. Yep, yep, yep. We might have had this conversation before. I can't remember. So we might have had that conversation before. That is the biggest event in my Reenact Live in History groups here called Pensick. Nice. More details, please. I'm going to continue this bottom sixth. Levi Meyerly is up. It was smaller than usual this year, only about 8,750. Jesus Christ. Uh, that's like when people they're usually over 10. That's like when people talk to me about Katsucon, because I used to go to Katsucon, and Katsucon always was hovered around like 22,000 people. And then the one year, it might have been the year of or the year after COVID, they were like, I probably the year after COVID actually. They were like, oh yeah, there's not a lot of people here this year. It was only like 18,000. And I'm like, there's still 18,000 fucking people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people still. Right. Here's the first pitch to Mayerly. Now he's going to take that load away for a ball. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 to Mayerly. Swung late. That'll be 1-1. Here's the 1-1. He's going to take a called strike at the knees. 1-2 now to Levi Mayerly. The 1-2 pitch. That's grounded in the gap into left field. And Mayerly stays patient. Gets a pitch to hit. And delivers it into left field for a base hit. Are you talking about Larissa Rochford? Now you're gonna make me look it up on Twitter. Yeah. I fucking adore Larissa, by the way. She's done some unbelievable. She was nominated twice for Cosplayer of the Year. See, she is going to Cosplay Mania. Yeah, October 3rd to the 5th. She's going to be there. That's the one she's there for. It's literally her pinned tweet. It is literally her pinned tweet. But yeah, that you are 100% right. That's the one she's going to be at. Oh, is Pix still here by any chance? The stadium looks nice, though. Looking a bit different from other games. Yeah. Where are we at here? Here's the first pitch. That's a ball. Gat Steyer standing in. Pix, did you see? First off, obviously New England fired Porter. Did you see who they reached out to? That Give Me Sport and Tom Bogert are reporting on. Jim Curtin. Here's the throw-off attempt. Jim Curtin is who they've reached out to. Right. 1-0 to Gat Steyers, who's 0 for 2 so far today. Throw over to first. He's back in time. Jimmy, yeah. That would be interesting. It's grounded over to the shortstop. On to second for one. On to first, and in time for the double play. 6-4-3 double play. I don't know if he would be a good fit, though. Like, maybe. He might be. I feel like if they hired Curtin, they would be like a 10th place team the first year. You know what I mean? Like, they would show somewhat. They're probably a 10th place team now, for all I know. No, yeah, that's true. Their ownership's just fucking clueless, isn't it? Right, Mark King is due up next. He's 1 for 2. Single and a ground out. It's Gill and the prayer. Yeah, the front office is really bad. But then again, Curtin's used to dealing with that. So here's the first pitch. That's inside for a ball. 1-0. For that one of the 18 first base ump of Chicago Union Grounds ballpark, then for ambiance. Yeah, the double plays they do for some reason. Here's the 1-0. That's high and away. 2-0. Here's the 2-0. That's a called strike, and it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's grounded. It stays fair. And he's going to reach via an error in E3. I don't know why he couldn't just step on the bag, but it's an error. E3. And it is an error on Joe Start, the first baseman. That'll bring up Everett Mills. He is 0 for 2. Grounded out twice. Yeah, we do. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. 0-1 pitch is called strike 2. And now Everett Mills has found himself in a hole here early on. It's 0-2. 0-2 pitch to Everett Mills. Swung on, grounded into the gap, into center field. It's a base hit. And Everett Mills is aboard into second. Martin King's actually going to go to third. It'll be runners on the corners now with one out. That's going to bring up Charlie Hodes. He had a home run his last at-bat. Here's the first pitch. That's popped up in the infield. Shortstop comes over. He makes the catch, and that finally retires the side. No runs on 2 hits. I scored the entire fucking inning in the wrong column. I scored the entire inning in the wrong column. Oh, my God. Silly. I'm sure we've all done that at some point. If you've ever scored a baseball game, I'm sure you've done that at some point. Or you've scored multiple baseball games, I'm sure you've done that at some point. I scored the whole inning under the 7th, and it's only the 6th. First base, that was that. Fuck it. Oh well, pop 6. Right, mistakes happen. Yep, that's why I have an eraser. Right, no runs on 2 hits. They leave one aboard. We go to the top of the 7th. It's a 2-1 ball game. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Right, welcome back. 2:30 in the afternoon here in Chicago. Hour 25 so far is the game time. We're into the top 7th. It'll be Doug Allison who's due up first. Now Doug, lined out, grounded out. He's 0 for 2 today. Only 58 pitches in those first 6 innings for Cherokee Fisher. He gets ready, he'll pitch, he'll throw. First pitch of this inning. And that's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded foul. And Doug Allison already in the hole at 0-2. By end of season, yeah. Here's the 0-2. Popped up. And the catcher there to make the play, that's Martin King. And just like that, there's 1 out in the inning. Here is Joe Start, who flied out and grounded out. First pitch to Start. Grounded back up towards the mound. Over to first in time. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. 1-3 on the putout. 3 pitches in this inning. 2 outs so far. That brings up George Bird, the center fielder. He flied out and grounded out. Here's the first pitch to George Bird. That's high for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Popped up in the infield. Second baseman's there, and he makes the catch. And just like that, the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. It is 7th inning stretch time here in Chicago. The home side, the White Stockings leading by a score of 2-1. As is a time-honored tradition, we're going to take a break to stretch. Why don't you guys enjoy this rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game? You heard the man. Let's get some runs, says DM Stewart. We are definitely good. Well, Rockford need to, man. We need to. Right. Bottom 7th, Sam Jackson due up here for Chicago. The second baseman reached twice via an error. He is 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Sam Jackson. That is inside for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. Did he go? First base umpire? No, he did not. So we'll go for Sox or Rockford. Yeah. 2-0 is the count. That was always how the late, great Harry Carey always finished the Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Nice. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's off the plate away. 3-0. Yeah, with the Cubs. Yeah. 3-0 pitch now to Sam Jackson. Is he going to be swinging? He's popped it up in the infield. Shortstop's going back on it. He makes the catch. And that's the first out of the inning. One down here in the bottom 7th. That brings up pitcher Cherokee Fisher. 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike at the knees. And it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He's ran that too low into the dirt. It's going to be 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's grounded foul. And the count will be 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped him up in the infield. Drifting foul. Looking like it's going to be foul. No, he's made the catch, the first baseman. And that is the second out of the inning. That is first baseman Joe Start on the put out there. And that will bring up the top of the order. George Bechtel will be the next batter up. He is 0 for 3. He's flied out, struck out, and he grounded into a fielder's choice. Here is the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Popped him up in the infield. Shortstop comes in. He makes the catch. And that will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Chicago. We go to the top of the 8th. It's a 2-1 ball game here in Chicago. We are going to take what I hope is the final. Actually, you know what? We'll take the 60-second timeout in the break, because I think that'll be that'll be the final ad break. It'll probably push the timer out one last time. Right. So we'll stay with us here in the top of the 8th. George Wright, the shortstop, is the first man up. Let's go Chicago. Pat Witz wants to see me get fired. Right. George Wright up the plate. He is 1 for 2 so far. Single and a lineup. I'm not actually managing the team. You know what I mean? The AI is doing all of it. I just drafted it and did any trades. That's all. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's taken low for a ball. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. And it's 0-2 now to George Wright. I know. And he's only batting .259 this season. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Here's the 1-2. Lined right at the first baseman. That is the first out of the inning. That brings up Dick McBride, the pitcher. He is 0 for 2 so far today with 2 pop-ups. Here's the first pitch. Swung on. That's into right field. It's a base hit for Dick McBride. And Rockford got a man aboard here in the 8th with 1 out. I got to see what they can do. No speed at first. Cap Anson is the next batter. Also the Hall of Famer George Wright. Nice. I'd imagine most of these guys are. Cap Anson is a home run away from completing the cycle. Here's the first pitch. That's gonna be, I think it was inside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's taken for a called strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Called strike at the lettering. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's grounded over to first. Pitcher comes up. Safe at first. He's safe at first. He beats the throw. And Anson's 4 for 4 today. Runners on first and second. And 1 out here for Rockford. That brings up George Hall, who grounded out, popped out. He's grounded out twice and popped out. Here's the first pitch. That is off the plate away. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Third base umpire says no, he did not. That is 2-1 now. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed. Right, here's the 2-1. That's off the plate away, 3-1. Yeah, I can imagine, especially first year Hall of Famer inductee. Yeah. It's a hitter's count here, 3-1. George Hall at the plate, 2-1. He lines this right to the shortstop, and that is the second out of the inning. That brings up Ross Barnes. He has lined out, grounded out, or he's lined out, grounded out twice, and has an RBI. Big at bat here in this game. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Ross Barnes, very good hitter right now. Batting is at the plate. Here's the pitch. That is line foul. Here's the 0-1. He's lined it right back up the middle. It's through. It's a base hit. Is the runner going to come around third is the question. No, McBride holds. He doesn't have the speed. He holds at third base. And now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And that brings up Lip Pike. He's popped up 3 times in this ball game. Pike can deliver here for Rockford. Bates, tense moment in this ball game. Top 8th, bases loaded, 2 outs. Let's see what the first pitch is. That is high for a ball. I see. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Barnes has grounded it right to second base, and the inning is over. They get out without any damage to Chicago. The bases were loaded, but nobody comes in. No runs on 3 hits, and they leave it loaded. We go to the bottom 8th. It is 2-1 Chicago. What's up, Deco? I'll give you a sequence of numbers. Guess the significance. Phillies versus LA. What's going on in the Phillies versus LA game? I didn't even see. What's Sports Score about doing? I saw the Phillies went ahead 1-0. I just don't know what else. I'm scrolling back up trying to look for the score. Rangers, D-backs, Rays, Rangers. Is it still 1-0? Struggling with runners in scoring positions. Deco, the Brewers guy. Yeah, I think the Phils draw first blood. Yeah, I did see they scored. Right, we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. It might be the last one of the stream. So we'll be back with more in just a minute. Right, welcome back. Pat, what's your hydrate? And then we'll get into DM Stewart. Right, a sequence of numbers from DM Stewart, and it has something to do with baseball. 7 7 9 9 12 11 9.2 8 8 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 9 11 9 9 9 9 9 10 8 9 8 8 9 9 9 9. I have absolutely no fucking clue. Is it the numbers of innings pitched by a Hall of Fame pitcher in the first year of Major League Baseball? That's what I'm thinking it might be. Not in the first year, but the rest is correct. Was it Cy Young? Was it anything to do with Cy Young? The year of the pitcher. It is not Denton Young. I don't even know what the year of the pitcher what the year of the pitcher was. I would have thought it was Cy Young. I feel like if it was Nolan Ryan, there would be more like third of an innings, 2/3 of an innings in there. But Chapman's a beast. Nice. Welcome in, Teco. I hope you're okay. I hope you're doing well, Teco. By the way, welcome in, man. Uh, I'm wondering if it's that. Right. Bottom eighth. Chicago leads. Bill Kelly is the first man up. He has flied out twice and popped out. It's Hack Robert Gibson in 1968. Wow, Jesus. That's a lot of innings pitched. Every outing is basically 7 or more. That's crazy. What I don't think that would the Cy Young even have been around back then? And if he did he win it? Here's the first pitch to Bill Kelly. That's inside for a ball. I'd admit, like to me, just on innings pitched alone, that's probably an MVP, like a Cy Young winning a season. Here's the 1-0 off the plate in 2-0. The 2-0 now to Bill Kelly. He's popped it up. Third baseman's over there. He makes the grab. That is Cap Anson on the play. And that's the first retiree. Cy Young played in the 1890s, early 1900s. One of the big, yeah, but like when was the award named after him? You know what I mean? Like that's the big thing. When would the award have been made and then named after him? Right. That brings up Levy Mayerly. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a ground out. Oh, the award. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Exactly. So I'm just thinking exactly the same baseball fan. Bellows looking nice too, and those green monster jerseys are so cool. I like Liverpool's green one from this year. It's grown on me a bit. Here's the first pitch. That's off the plate away. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's high and in. Ball two. The Cy Young was first awarded in 1956. Gibson absolutely won the Cy Young that year. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well deserved, honestly. Here's the 2-0. That's deep. That's back there. That's way back there. And it's over the wall. Another solo home run, this time from Levy Mayerly. And Cleveland get a little bit of insurance here in the bottom of the eighth. It's a home run to make this 3-1. Yeah, Gibson 1-2. Yeah. So just when Rockford looked in this game, a big solo shot to left center, and it's a 2-run ball game again. Gat Stiers is the next man up. Reached via an error, popped up, grounded out. Here's the first pitch to Stiers. And that is off the plate inside. 1-0. Oh my, 1.12 ERA that season. Jesus Christ, that's low. Here's the 1-0. That's fouled. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is just going to fall foul down the left field line. 1-2 pitch. Inside. Ball 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's off the plate away. Ball 3. And now 3-2 count here. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He's popped it up. Catcher's over there to make the play. That's Doug Gallis on the grab, and he does do so. 2 down here in the 8th. Right, that's going to bring up Mark King. He's 1 for 3 with reach via an error, ground out, and a single. Here's the first pitch to Mark King. That's grounded foul. Freddie Peralta for Cy Young. Is Freddie in the AL or the NL? Here's the over. Gone!
I owe allegiance to no entity. I intend to live by my own code now.
Welcome in, Raiders. Gomp, let me write you down. Let me shout you out, and then I'll explain what's going on here. Gotta check out what this baseball is. Heard it's been sweeping America by storm. Nice. Guys, if you're not already following Gomp, go follow the great Gomp. Here he is playing FM 24. He's what a clip. He's got a great save going on with Fukushima into Japan. So definitely check him out. I love that emote, the dancing cat emote. I freaking love that emote, Gomp. Right. This is the season, dog. Nice. That's what I thought about Gimpo, but then I'm about to lose 5 players to Europe, man. Right. For those that might be new here, or might have come in on a previous comp raid, but they've not seen us play Out of the Park, we're playing Out of the Park baseball. We are commentating the season. This is the 1871 season, by the way. You can pick any season with which you can start your career mode, going back to the very first season of professional baseball in the United States. That is 1871. We are in 1871. And we are in a very tense game right now with the 2-5 Rockford Forest Citys from Rockford, Illinois, traveling to the 1-1 Chicago White Stockings, who have the lead right now. Up 3-1. You just missed a big towering homer to left center field from Levi Mayerly. the third baseman who just went yard. Charlie Hodes has also gone yard for Cleveland, so they've had 2 solo shots. And, yeah, they got Rube Waddle in this pitch. It's my favorite, but they will. So when you start an out-of-the-park baseball season, you actually get to pick how you want the game to progress. You can have the game generate completely all random fake players and throw them into the save. You can have them historically bring in all of the players that used to play when they played. So, for example, Babe Ruth comes in the league in like 1910 or something, right? In the early 1900s, he'll be there. He'll be there. So, like, Babe Ruth is going to be a prospect at some point. Yep, he'll be in the save. He'll come into the save. So, Babe Ruth will come in. Shoeless Joe Jackson will be in the game. If they played real professional baseball in either the National Professional Baseball Players League or in the MLB, they're in the save. So we chose. Now, you can have the game follow the historical accuracy as closely as you want it to. Like, you can have Babe Ruth generate, and he's an absolute stud. We have it set to random. So we're going to get Babe Ruth. We're going to get Shoeless Joe Jackson. We're going to get Rube Waddell. We're going to get them. But we don't know if they're going to be as good as the players that they were. So that's what we have set up right now. It is currently the 25th of May in 1871. Again, 2-5 Rockford at the 1-1 Chicago. Rube had some seasons with more strikeouts than Cy Young, but was incredible. Idiot used to leave games to chase fire trucks that drove by. That's hilarious. Right. We're in the bottom 8th. 1 out here in the bottom. It should be 2 out. 2 outs. Sorry, 2 outs here in the bottom 8th. 0-1 is the count. It is. You know who my favorite 1871 player is, by the way? Just name, not favorite player, just the name. Count Sensendorfer. Opposing fans would bring puppies to hold up, and he would leave the mound to go pet them. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's so funny, actually. Yeah, he's coming in the game. We do have a redeem as well. That name is so good. That name is great, isn't it? Count Sensendorfer, right? So, right. 0-1 is the count. We've got Mart King. At the mound, or I'm sorry, in the batter's box. Dick McBride is on the mound. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's 0-2. 0-2 to Mart King here. Chicago got a 2-run lead. That's outside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2. And the count is 2-2. By the way, Gump, if you ever are wondering why do I keep looking down, I'm scoring the game. I have a scorebook. All the previous games that we've played on stream, they're in here, man. So we also have a scorebook for it. So if you see me looking down between each pitch, I'm marking off pitch count. The Pirates had to hire Pinkertons to bring Rube back to the team because he ran off. They found him wrestling gators in Florida. That's hilarious. Right. 2-2 the count to Mart King. Here's the pitch. That's outside, ball 3. Now the count is full. Payoff pitch here to Mart King. Grounded over to the second baseman. He's going to put it on to first, and that will retire the side. 4-3 on the putout. 1 run on the home run. And that's all that Cleveland will get. We go to the top of the 9th inning. 3-1 Cleveland. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys will be catcher Doug Allison. He's lined out, grounded out, and popped out. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Here is the first pitch from Cherokee Fisher. That's lined deep in the left field. Going back on it's the left fielder, though, and he will make the catch for the first down of the inning. I'm cracking up. This is so funny. Gomp's probably done a paper or researched it at some point. I don't know. That is just sometimes you just learn something and it sticks with you, man. That's hilarious. Right. That brings up Joe Start, the first baseman. Gomp is a nerd. Gomp's a nerd, yeah. We all are. We're on the Twitch.tv, okay? So right. Joe Start over 3, flied out and grounded out twice. Gomp Ray, what's up, Pat? There's a podcast called The Dollop that has an episode about Rube. I've listened to it like 15 times. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Here's the first pitch to Joe Start. He's grounded that back up towards the mound. It's through. It's a base hit, and Joe Start maybe has given life to Rockford. He's got himself a single, and it means the tying run is coming to the plate. George Bird is the batter. He is 0 for 3. He's flied out, grounded out, popped out. All I know is peanuts because of OOTP fun packs when loading the game or saving. Nice. Highly recommend that episode. It's so fucking funny. Nice. I'll have to take a look at it. Here's the first pitch to George Bird. Swung on, that's grounded foul. Hit me in the face. Hit the cameraman in the face, too. Shouldn't be cameraman because, you know, it's 1871, but you know. Here is the 0-1. It's lined into right field, but drifted foul. Haven't even mentioned the time he got hit by a lion. What the fuck? That's so funny. Oh, is he a Hall of Famer? Because that would be hilarious if he was a Hall of Famer. Right, 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. That is grounded over to short. On to second for the lead runner. They get him. No play at first. And so George Bird is on via a fielder's choice, a 6-4 fielder's choice. And that means the tying run is still at the plate. But they are 1 out away from winning. Inducted in 1946, apparently. Let's go. Does the fire trucks that he chased or the puppies that he petted go in the builders category? Is that what it is? I'm just teasing. Right. George Wright, the shortstop, is up next. Look at his contact. Look at his power. If they ever needed that, it's on this at bat. Tying run at the plate. 2 outs. Top of 9th. There's the throw over to first, and he's back in time. First pitch. Fouled. Here's the 0-1. That's taken below the knees for a ball. It is 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a called strike 2. And it's 1-2. Yeah, the Pirates were a pretty strong team in the early 20s. Yes, I remember. Noughties, 10s, and or 1900s. 10s and like the 1960s/70s. Mainly 70s, if I remember correctly. They were really strong. 1-2 the count. 1 strike away is Cherokee Fisher. Here's the pitch. That is inside. Ball 2, and it's 2-2. 2-2 pitch. He's grounded back up towards the mountain. It's through. It's another base hit. And now Rockford have the winning run at the plate. Or the go-ahead run, not the winning run. Sorry. It is the top of the 9th, not the bottom. It's the go-ahead run at the plate. And it's going to be a pinch hitter for Dick McBride. Al Barker is going to be the one coming in. Barker. No hitters, both extra innings because the manager promised to take him fishing if he won. That's awesome. go-ahead run is at the plate. Here's the first pitch. That is inside, ball one. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Below the knees, 2-0. And now here's the 2-0 pitch. Grounded back up to second. On to first. It's in time. And that is going to end the game. They get the go-ahead run on 2 hits, but they cannot score anybody. Left on base is going to be the story of this game for the Rockford Forest Citys. They dropped to 2-6 in this season. Chicago improved to a 3-run record. But left on base for the Rockford Forest Citys, especially in the last 2 innings, they left 8 men on base, 5 in the last 2 innings alone. And that is going to do it. Final score here in Chicago. It is the Chicago White Stockings 3, the Rockford Forest Citys 1. Game time was 2 hour, 2 minutes. 2 hour, 3 minutes officially. And now comes the fun part where we tally up the scores, which we're going to do. We're going to pull the pen out for this to make it official. I'm going to go through the lineup for you guys and give you everyone's final stat. Cap Anson, what a game from Cap Anson. He had 3 fielding errors, yes, but he went 4 for 4 at the plate. He had 2 singles, he had a double, he had a triple. He scored a run. Going phone mode to eat, but I'm here for it. Sounds good. Thank you. George Hall, 0 for 4. He had 4 at-bats, no hits. Ross Barnes had 4 at-bats. He had 1 hit, and he scored an RBI. Lip Pike had 4 at-bats. He did not register a hit. Doug Allison had 4 at-bats. He did not register a hit. Joe Start had 4 at-bats. He had 1 hit, and he had a fielding error as well. George Bird had 4 at-bats. He did not register a hit. George Wright had 4 at-bats. He had 2 hits. Dick McBride had 3 at-bats. He had a hit. And Al Barker had 1 at-bat. He did not score a hit. Fielding errors total 4. At-bats 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. Hits 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. Yep, that's correct. 9 hits. They got 1 run. They got 1 RBI on that run. They had 1 double. They had 1 triple. That was it. That's a really light day at the office for Rockford. A lot of hits, but nothing significant there. We swap over to the red pen for Chicago. Right, George Betchel. He had 4 at-bats. He did not have a hit. He was struck out, and he was picked off as well. Bill Kelly had 4 at-bats. He did not register a hit. Levi Mayerly had 4 at-bats. He had a great day at the office himself. He had 3 hits, 1 of which was a home run. That also gives him an RBI and a run. Gat Stiers had 4 at-bats. He did not register a hit. Matt King had 4 at-bats. He did get 1 hit. Everett Mills had 3 at-bats, and he registered 1 hit. He got 1 hit in that at-bat. Charlie Hodes had 3 at-bats. He also had 1 hit, and it was a home run, which gives him an RBI and a run. Yes, okay, good. Sam Jackson had 3 at-bats. He did not register a hit, but he did register a run. And then Cherokee Fisher had how did he score the run? Oh, and the fielder's choice. He scored the run on the fielder's choice. Oh, you know what? That means that George Bentel should have had a, or Betchel should have had an RBI. I forgot to mark that in pencil. Let me do that now, real quick. I marked him as a fielder's choice, but he did the fielder's choice. That the fielder's choice did give him the RBI as well. So let me just mark that RBI. Okay, there we go. And then let's see. Sam Jackson, 3 at bats, 1 run, no hits. Cherokee Fisher, 3 at bats, 1 hit. Right, total at bats for Rockford definitely looking to IRL team 421. Oh yeah, I'm hoping we don't finish 4-21. Right. Total at bats for the Chicago White Stockings 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 3, 6, 9, 32 at bats. Total runs 3. Total hits 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 hits. That's correct. No doubles, no triples, but 2 homers. And 1 strikeout. And that would be 3 RBIs. They batted them all in. Very impressive. 1 pickoff as well, which was rare. We don't really see those very often. So there you have it. No fielding errors from Chicago. I think that was the big difference, right? No fielding errors from Chicago. Of all the games we've commentated, what's up, Coley? Welcome for joining me. Thanks for joining me right at the end, bro. I hope you've been well. I hope you're doing well. How are you, man? I think that's the big thing, right? Is that they didn't have any errors. This is the first game where we've had a team not commit an error. You did your first stream today. Let's go. What'd you stream? You stream FM? What'd you stream, bro? Let's go over there and drop that follow. Right now. Right freaking now. Resident Evil. The OG Resident Evil. Oh, bud. That's fucking sick. Yes, congratulations. In fact, that deserves the official applause. Let's give it the official applause, shall we? Hell yeah, followed. Absolutely. Here we go. Congratulations. Thanks. Nice. The game is so old school. I know it's some parts of it haven't really stood the test of time. You know what I mean? So it's a good game, but like part of it is like RE1 is so clunky. You know what I mean? It's just a clunky game. So right, I'm gonna do the pitcher stat, which I do need OOTP's help with. Dick McBride gets the loss. He pitched 8 innings. I have his pitch count as 94. That is correct. He did not walk anybody. He struck out 1. He gave up the 7 hits. All the runs were earned. No, because the 1 reached on an error. So 3 runs, but 2 were earned. The 2 earned runs were literally the solo homers, and he gets the loss. The turning is so funny. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I raged a lot at it. Thanks. I can imagine. The camera angles aren't very good either. It's got those notorious like Dino Crisis level of camera angles in RE1. It's just yeah. Right. Cherokee Fisher pitched all 9 innings. Pitch count, I have him at 95 is the pitch count I have him at. That is correct. He did not walk anybody. He did not strike out anybody. He gave up all 9 hits. And the run, I believe, was earned. It was, yes. So that is that. Right. I tried Dunocast before. I didn't listen. Now that you want to talk about rage inducing, right? Attendance was 1,084. Time of the game, 2 hours, 3 minutes. Now, we are going to the final in Fort Wayne. The Washington Olympics defeated the Fort Wayne Kekiunkas by a score of 8-5. So we're going to move on to the next day. And here we go. All right, baseball fan, you've waited for this. I'm going to turn the page. Before you say anything, I'm going to write myself as the scorer in the book. I'm going to write the date, the 26th of May, 1871. I'm going to write this in my book on the other team's lineup, 26th of May, 1871. All right, baseball fan. I'm letting you have the pick of the game. What game would you like us to pick for the next OOTP stream? It's your pick. You have the New York Mutuals at the Chicago White Stockings or the Fort Wayne Kekiungas at the Troy Haymakers. You get the pick. Fort Wayne Kekiungas, Troy Haymakers. That's an NL matchup. Troy, bottom of the NL right now at 2-6, joint with us in the Rockford Forest Citys. The New York Mutuals 3-2 are in the American League, and the Chicago White Stockings now 2-1, 2-0 at home. So you get to pick what game you want. It's your choice. Where's the Firefox audio? That's what I wanted to. Go on. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to the rewards redeem because your reward, you said improved defense for Cap Anson. Okay. So once you pick, baseball fan, let's go. That's accurate because New York was better. Thankfully, Fort Wayne lost. Yeah, but what game do you want us to cover? National League? American League? You pick. No, it's your pick. It's your pick. This is your pick. So, how's the stream been? It's been good. It's been very good. I technically manage the Forest Cities, and we're fucking 2-6 now. So the season's not going. Is it the one? Is it the one pick of the year for me? No, I'll let you pick another one later down the line. The only rule that I have basically was I wanted to make sure I covered everybody, and I wanted to anytime I'll probably let you pick. Well, I don't think we've covered Washington Olympics for this one. Well, I don't know. Depends. I'll let you pick. I'll let you probably pick both days in all honesty. This one, oh god. I'll tell you what. You pick the 26th. I'll pick the 27th, and we'll let somebody else pick the 28th. And then whenever we're not playing, like the 29th has to be us. And then whenever we're not playing again, I'll let you pick again. Which is probably this date here on June 6th. So. But that's what we'll do. So there's your choices. Fort Wayne at Troy or New York at Chicago. So you pick. I'll pick the next day. And then we'll let somebody else in chat pick the 28th. So you just let me know which one you want. Fort Wayne and at Troy or New York at Chicago. Fort Wayne is 1-4 on the road. They've lost all 4 games on the road. They are 4-0 at home, but they're traveling at Troy, who have only won. Their only 2 wins of the season have come at one. Picks like New York Mutuals, I'm going with that. Right. So our next game of Out of the Park will be the New York Mutuals at the Chicago White Stockings. So we get Chicago back to back. Thanks. Nice. Yep. New York's only 2 losses this season have come on the road. Chicago's only 2 wins have come at home. That's going to be a pretty good game. that's going to be the next game of OOTP. I believe it's on the schedule not for next Monday, but the following Monday. How are we? We're doing well. Let's check the standings real quick, shall we? What did those two games do to the standings? So the Boston Red Stockings still lead the American League. They are 7-2, and they lead the Philadelphia Athletics by a game and a half, who are 4-2. Washington Olympics, their win, by the way, over the Fort Wayne Kekiungos puts them at 3-3. They're 2.5 back. The Cleveland Forest Citys, who we just saw, we didn't just see them, but the Cleveland Forest Citys are 3.5 back at 2-4. Chicago White Stockings, that win jumps them to the top of the National League at 2-1. The New York Mutuals are level with them at 3-2. The Fort Wayne Kekiungos are level with them at 5-4. We are 2.5 back at Rockford Forest Citys at 2-6. Troy Haymakers are 2.5 back at 2-6 as well. The last thing that I wanted to do is, you told me you wanted to improve Cap Anson's fielding, which is in here somewhere. Is fielding for the errors. Yeah. Is it under batting statistics technically? Yes, defensive ratings. Infield arm. It would be here, right? It would not. I'm on the right thing, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. So infield range, infield error. Yeah. Oh, infield error. Wait. So do I move infield error up, or do I move infield error down? Like, if I move infield error up, is he more error prone, or is he better at errors? Like, okay, Benny, it's 4 a.m. Good night, but good night, Kelly. We're pretty much done too. We're gonna make this adjustment, and then we're gonna go. So, because baseball fan redeem this. Errors is a measure of how likely a defensive player is. The rating includes so positive position rating. Okay, hold on. So a shortstop with the most opportunities, the most errors at 10 minutes, and difference 20 plays made. Thanks for replying. If it's up, he's more better at making plays, less chance of errors. Are we sure? I don't think that's right. Hold on. It's inverse. That is, players with high error. Oh, yeah, you're right. Players with high error ratings are less likely to commit errors. Right. So, 84, 67, and 88, and 91. That's what we do. Well, they all go up one because it's got to move the needle. So there you go. They all go up one. So that should improve his error rate. His error rating will go up a little bit. That'll improve his defensive ratings a little bit. So he has that gives him a fielding rating. Like, when you're looking at the game, when you're in the game, there's an overall fielding rating, and that should improve his fielding rating then. So there you go. All right. That's Pop is his nickname. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that is. So there you go. So I will. You know what? I might even. It's because we use most. I remind me if I'm wrong, baseball fan, but out of the park usually uses a scale of what, like 1 to 80, right? Or is it 20 to 80 is usually the rating scales, and I chose to use something else. I think, like over like 100, like out of 100 or something like that. So Um, where's his fielding rating? There's his defensive ratings. So he did have a development risk extreme. Oh boy. Yeah, you can adjust it closer to 100 or to right. So I chose 100. So what I'm going to do is, because it takes so long to move the needle, I'm going to actually reduce the OOTP thing even more. So I'm going to reduce the OOTP attribute adjustment redeem to 300. So that should be very cheap. Like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna reduce it to 275. So that should be very, very cheap overall. So people that want to adjust the attributes of an OTP player, since the rating scale is so large, will make it 275. That should be pretty freaking cheap, right? For those on YouTube, that's the end of the recording. Thank you so much. I'm going to save the game right here. I'll spend a boatload. I think you guys underestimate how quickly I'm going to get through this season, because it's still May, and the season started not too long ago. Like, I couldn't. The season started in what, April, maybe. When was the first game? Let me check that real quick. The first game was the 18th of April. So we've done about 20 games so far, and we are only on the 25th, the 28th, the 26th of May. So April 18th was the first game, and we're on the 26th of May now. So we only do about one a week because I upload these to YouTube. So I might do more once I clear my upload backlog, but overall, we're going to wind up it's going to be a little while. I know that. Right. Anyway, I've babbled and blabbered enough. It's time to go. For those on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We will see you for the next game, April 26th. But anyway, until then, take care. Thanks for watching.